We're drafting wide receiver tonight. I normally do not force a strategy, and I don't condone you doing that, but for research purposes, for you seeing how I deploy a specific strategy that we're planning on trying to explain, I'm going to force wide receiver tonight, and we're doing it live. If you want to be a part of tonight's draft, hit this link in the live chat right now, smash it, and we will get going here in T-minus 2-3 minutes. Link is in the live chat right now. I just dropped it. I'm going to pin it right now. If you want to get in, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. They'll match up to $100 in your first deposit by using code Smitty. The link in the live chat, the link in the description, it has code Smitty in the link. Hit it now if you want to be a part of this. We're doing wide receiver. Again, something I never, ever plan on. I always try and do a strategy, but I'm going to force it tonight. Not advised, just so you can see what I do. Let's go.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday,
8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live 8 p.m. Eastern. Live all the time. Graveyard show. Maybe it'd be easier if I list the times I'm not live. That might be maybe the better message to send people. We're doing the wide receiver dance tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So buckle up and get ready. And again, something I do not advise you force upon yourself. I'm just going to force it upon myself to show what the strategy would be if I was going to go wide receiver. And I will let you know, like, if things look really, really bad, I don't want to force it and condone that type of behavior, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to figure it out. And within almost the confines of best player available, be able to do wide receiver. So we're going to do a best ball mania tonight. I don't know if you guys are game for that. $25 entry. Click that bad boy. Hit that enter button right now. It's $3 million to first place. We don't do a lot of these, so go ahead and punch that. 7 more to start. Board view. I'm going to place it on board view. We've got 7 more entries. These aren't, I mean, you don't want to do one of these. You could do another. You could do one of the eliminators. Whatever you want to do. Overcome dropping a super chat, immediately jumping in, and Overcome did an amazing trade today in the Moonman draft that I totally Smitty approved. Tempted to offer away Andrews, Adams, and Taylor for Hawkinson, Olave, and Eckler. Yeah, I mean, it's very even. Like, I hesitate to even pick a side on that one. You could argue all sides of that are very, very even. We got Matt in the 1, Dan the Grim Reacher in the 2, Tubby, his name, Master. We got 100, Sin City, Bike, Mike, your boy Smitty, Rank, and then Matt in the 12. Got a couple Matts in there. Got Matt Russell and Matt. Who is this? Matt Murray. Probably the same dude. Hey, Matt, you doing two teams in here? That's not allowed, Matt. That's not allowed. Okay. Who is here? Who here would take Bijan at 2? I mean, come on, Justin. You know my answer to that. Turtle time, says Sam. What's that mean? What's turtle time mean? Overcome. What's going on? Overcome. I wish Overcome was in the Marsman because he seems to trade a lot. Nobody's trading in the I mean, I've traded twice already, but nobody's trading in the Marsman League, really. I have Waddle, and I've literally said, who wants Waddle? Not one person has even made, not that I want bad offers, but not one person has even made a bad offer for Waddle. Just because I said I don't like him in round 2, nobody wants to come get him in this league. It's so funny. But nobody's made an offer. Nobody. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. This is a best ball mania. 3 mil to the first place person. And if anybody wants to get in on this, I'm gonna pin the link in a second here. Let me see if I can do it. in the live chat link so everybody can get in. Let's see. Pin message. There we go. Okay. Link's been pinned. If anybody wants to get into the next one, not that we're doing one tonight, but the next one tomorrow, make sure you click that link now and prepare so you're not left scrambling. Bijan goes to Sin City. Cooper Cup goes to Vike. How high would I take Gibbs? Anywhere in 3 is fine. Whoops. I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. So I'm going wide receiver tonight, almost no matter what. I'm not gonna force it if, like, let's say, but yeah, I will. I'm gonna force it no matter what, because that's the whole goal tonight. But not condoning the going of wide receiver no matter what. Just that you know, okay, it worked out anyways, because I think St. Brown's there. Or no, St. Brown isn't there. CeeDee Lamb's there. St. Brown? Where did St. Brown go? Oh, you went before my Wilson pick. That's right. Yeah. So if this is the case, let's force Lamb. So we're gonna go wide receiver. I don't think I was out of pocket doing that anyway. Like, if I was drafting right now, I probably would go Lamb anyway. So that's great that it's not me forcing it too aggressively. But we want to try the wide receiver approach out. How high would I take Olave? Probably anywhere from like 15 on. I think anywhere higher than that, you're not using the advantages that you have in front of you. 140 of you in here, please punch that thumb up button and subscribe if you're new. Sometimes people watch every day and don't hit subscribe, which is what keeps the lights on. So please hit that subscribe button. I'm avoiding Devontae Smith, Higgins, and Waddle. Why take the number 2? I don't hate I mean, that's what I usually tell people is, like, I'm not drafting a number 2 option for a team in the second round, but avoid them altogether. Smith can fall into the mid-third sometimes, and Devontae Smith is an animal, and he could be the number 1 wide receiver there any given year. Like, let's not pretend that's not possible. There's no way Higgins is beating out Chase. And Waddle's not going to beat out Hill unless Hill gets hurt. Okay. Lamb is great value, says Golf. I agree. And I didn't even force it. That's what I would have done. I'm not taking Olave, right there with Lamb still there. I would take Olave more like 17 on. Not saying I haven't taken him at like 16, 17, 18, but I think right now, the way ADPs are falling, you'll be good to just wait. Got a couple supers coming in here, coming in hot. We had Overcome dropping that first one. Overcome. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, Overcome dropping the first super chat of the night. Appreciate you, Overcome. Second super of the night is from who's this from? Overcome. 2 peanut butter waivers, and who is in here right now? Holy crap, how funny. Is that because you guys are the ones making the trade? That wasn't the bad trade that was made, was it? Who made the bad trade with you? Yeah, who made the bad trade? Was that wasn't peanut butter and waivers, was it? Peanut butter, was that you that made that bad trade with Overcome today? Who made that really bad trade? I hope it wasn't peanut butter and waivers. Thank you, Clark, for dropping the super chat. Brooklyn says, I've been doing wide receiver, running back, wide receiver or running back QB. It's worked out well. Just make sure you're not going and locking that strategy. And I cannot emphasize enough, and I think detour if the plan isn't working and there's a better option on the board. There's nothing wrong with going in with an idea, but do not lock that in and just no matter what. I was going to force it in preface that I would not force it ever in a real draft. And this is a real draft because it is for money, but I'm trying to do some a learning sesh right here. So do not force it. Do not take wide receiver, running back, no matter what. That is the best way to leave value on the table. Sometimes it can work out, but you have to be able to detour. I'm sure you do detour. It's worked out so far. JJ Garrett Wilson, Olave, Kenneth Walker, Joe Burrow, Javonte. Very, very good team. That is an amazing squad, and that's how you deploy it perfectly when it falls right. So congratulations in that. Young with a 199 hauler here says, how we feel about Sean Tucker as a late stash. Absolutely, and that's one reason I do not like Rachaad White right now. There's just too many questions, man. The offense is too spotty, and there's going to be low yards per carry coming out of that running back room. And what happens if Rachaad White looks ineffective, but he's not really ineffective? It's just the blocking, it's the field position, and then they're just going to move on and not maybe fully, but like say, hey, we're going to get Sean Tucker involved. And then all of a sudden, Rachaad White takes the blame, and it's not even his fault. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm on the clock here. So far, Lamb, Garrett Wilson. Maybe I continue to go. Go Fields here. I'm forcing Fields in the third sometimes because if I don't like who's there, and I'm not saying I don't like ETN or Breece Hall, but that's a little too early. And maybe Grank would have went Fields there because he just took Lamar. I just would rather have my guy and come back around and make my decision with a little bit more clear-headedness. You know what I mean? Because right there, I didn't know who I wanted. There's a lot of guys I like, but I didn't have a clear player, and I know I want Fields. So with only 4 picks in between my next pick, I'm fine with having a later decision, you know, and making sure I got my guy. So if anybody's wondering why I went Fields there early, because I usually would let him fall. And look, none of the running backs went, and I'm probably going to go RB here, I imagine. So with this room right here, I'm going to take him a wee bit early here. I know he's not going to come back to me, so I'm just going to take him here. I usually like to wait until 5, but there's no way I'm going to get him. So Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb. Very, very solid team. I like some of these teams so far. Interesting team 12, all wide receivers. I mean, they're good wide receivers too. It's not like he forced it and like drafted Christian Kirk, you know what I mean? Like, who I'm not disrespecting or calling a bad player, but to do that with the wide receiver, 4 straight wide receiver approach would be, in my opinion, not the best way to deploy the quad wide receiver, you know what I mean? Or if you were to go like running back, and mix in, no offense, Grank, you know, wouldn't be worth doing that. Dameon Pierce or Rachaad White. Dameon Pierce by a mile right now, Young. By a mile. It's a good question, but Young is not, or Young. Rachaad White is not somebody that I want to draft right now at his cost. What do you guys think so far of the wide receiver approach here? Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Fields, Kenneth Walker. Pretty solid. Amon-Ra, Saquon, DJ Moore, Drake London, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Taylor, Dameon Pierce, Bijan. 4 running backs. Again, we got 2 people doing 4 straight different positions. But, okay, Sin City's got Bijan, Henry, Najee, Etienne. They're 4 very good RBs, I mean, for sure. But I don't know what his wide receiver room is going to look like. We got Warren dropping a $10 hauler, all $10
to the moon.
Haulers get a moonshot, my man Warren. Warren dropping that 10 spot. And someone dropped a super chat earlier that didn't. Donovan just became a member. I think someone might have done a YouTube exclusive membership. I may have missed it. Yeah, I think we had Bella Check Yourself gifted 1 exclusive membership to somebody. Appreciate you, Bella Check Yourself, for doing that. And Warren said just got Kupp, Pollard, Olave, Gibbs, and Justin Herbert in your home league 9 spot. Sounds like a grandma draft to me, Warren. You crushed it, bro. Crushed it. Gibbs is your 4th player. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. Your running backs are filthy. It's just straight filth, man. Great job. Great job, broski. I like it. Thank you, Belichick yourself, for gifting that. And Shopkey says, Garrett Wilson feels like a big risk to me. Rodgers is fussy as hell on who he will throw to the most. I mean, but Shopkey, haven't you been watching what's been happening? I mean, even if you believe this to be true, he's throwing to Garrett Wilson like they're bunk mates, doing karate in the garage, moving the bunk beds around for more room for activities. What are you talking about? I mean, if anything, if you felt this way, he's proven this is the guy he's going to be fussy about. Loves Garrett Wilson, talking him up. 17, looks just like another 17 I used to throw to, he says. Come on, Shopkey. I mean, really. Okay, thank you. Appreciate you, Warren. What's up here, Rock Out?
Yeah, I'm in another draft. Can I give you my team so far?
Sure.
Joe Burrow. Don't really take Eckler, but I took him at number 9. And then I got Gibbs and Garrett Wilson.
Joe Burrow. I'm sorry, say it again. Joe Burrow, Eckler, Gibbs, and Garrett Wilson?
Gibbs and Garrett Wilson.
You got Garrett Wilson in the 2nd round?
Yeah.
In a underdog?
Yeah.
Jeez,
16.
That's crazy, man. I'm going to go Javonte here. Fields, Kenneth Walker, Javonte, Garrett Wilson, and CeeDee Lamb. I like it. Quarterbacks didn't fall. So, I mean, I wouldn't have been happy not getting T. Law. So, I don't think Fields was a mistake in any one of those picks. But Javonte, Kenneth Walker, I feel pretty good about it. I think I would have been better if I would have got like a St. Brown and Garrett Wilson. I like Lamb a lot, but I just, that would have made me feel a little bit stronger about it. But pretty good squad. I've drafted better. I don't, maybe Pollard didn't fall, but if Pollard had fallen, maybe I would have liked that balance better, and then I could have went Watson, I suppose, instead of Walker. But I like the team. I don't think it's bad. Plus, they got another pick right here to kind of top it off. So let's see here. Let's see. He must be drafting with RP. Dotson. Yeah, Dotson. Look at this guy at the 12 spot. What's he doing? A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Jahan Dotson. 5 straight wide receivers. I'm going to time out just even going over it.
What the heck?
I'm going to reach a little bit here. I don't think it's that big of a reach because I need RBs. I went wide receiver heavy at the beginning. Fields, Kenneth Walker, Javonte, Kamara, Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb. I feel like Kamara can be a league winner. So this feels pretty good now that I've got my running back stable, pretty well in order. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Joel Bailey says Garrett Wilson first round. Hey Joel, welcome back to fantasy football. I know you've taken a big hiatus. Joel, come on, Joel. Come on, Joel. I mean, you can't tell me you haven't been doing drafts until this very second. Like, you just came back. Like, okay, I'm going to get back in the swing of things. I mean, that's what, when someone says Garrett Wilson, anywhere near the 12-13 turn, anywhere near. Joel, anywhere near. Get Garrett Wilson in round 2 is not as easy as it used to be. Unbelievable. I like this squad. I love when people come in, no offense, Joel, and say something that's like, it's you're standing out, you're sticking out like a sore thumb, Joel. Tony Pollard? Tony Pollard in the 12 to 13 overall range? Shopkey says Lamb over Wilson. I mean, I could understand it. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's something that you're gonna get a lot of people to agree on. You're gonna have people all over the map. It wasn't like I said. Hey Joel, how the hell do you like CeeDee Lamb over Garrett Wilson? It's more like Joel saying Garrett Wilson going around 1. What? Yeah, this team at the end, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I like the idea of the 3 wide receivers in a row. I think that could play really well from the 12 spot. But to go Ayuk, Dotson on top of his wide receiver room is going to be nice. But what in the hell is he going to have at running back, quarterback? I don't think it's going to play out well for him. Your draft's on Sunday. Joel, we're going to get you prepared, my guy. And you can even call into the phone line right now, Joel. And we'll discuss whatever pick. You have your pick yet? Joel, call in. Phone line's right there. Do it live.
Hey, Smitty.
Godwin. Hey, real quickly, Godwin's ranked so high on Yahoo. I was looking at Yahoo.
Yeah.
Hey, Godwin, like, I don't know. I'm going to say like 2 rounds or 3 rounds higher than this. Or like, there's like 2 rounds higher. When I looked at it, maybe it was the league format or settings or something. But it was crazy, man. I was looking at it and Godwin was just sitting there above like 15 guys that I liked better. Godwin's okay. Not ripping on Godwin entirely. Blind Larry says, thanks for the membership. Yeah, somebody gifted that. I think that was Belichick herself. That's awesome. What's up, Rockout?
So with the Judy injury, where you got like Sutton?
With the Judy injury, where do I got Sutton? In the same place?
Yeah. Same place.
Yeah. I know it. I'm not moving Sutton up my board. I'm not drafting Sutton at all. ESPN has Godwin mad high too. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's not a solid, player. A very undervalued player in some draft, formats. But I sure as hell not going near Sutton, where some people are. Kamara or Herbert? Kamara, man. Kamara's going to be a league winner. Plain and simple. All right, I'm almost on the clock here. I'm on the clock. Okay, so my team so far: Fields, Kenneth Walker, Javonte, Kamara. I got a pretty well balanced team. Pacheco's there. I gotta take JSN here. I hate that he's maybe out, but I don't care because getting that third wide receiver that, in my opinion, could be a league winner. I truly believe JSN could be a league winner as a third wide receiver. Not saying he's guaranteed, top 12 wide receiver play the entire season, but at some point during the year, I believe he will be playing like a top 12 wide receiver.
Yep. Got a lot of upside.
Love him. Love the man. This is tough. This is tough where I'm at right here because, yeah, I'm going to go. Ingram's tempting.
Yeah.
I don't want to get burned on this. I'm going to go early Charbonnet. It's really early, but I can't let that come back around. It's really, really early, but it locks me down pretty good. My lineup is pretty smooth and locked in. I went really early. I went really early. I went a little over, I think 15 picks or so. But you got to do what you got to do to secure the team you're trying to build. This team, I think, is straight fire. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I just got JSN at 81.
I love JSN, man. I took him at 82. His ADP 67. I took CeeDee Lamb at 15. His ADP is 11. So I'm smashing the ADP constantly. And then, so I could afford a little reach, which I did on Charbonnet. Pick 10, Garrett Wilson 14. Four picks off. Kamara, I took a little early. Javonte a little early. I guess I hit some of these early. That's right. I don't really care. I'm getting my boys. I'm getting the boys back together. Garrett Wilson is looking at like 13 touchdowns this year. Bella, check yourself. I would not be shocked if Garrett Wilson was a top 3 to 5 wide receiver this year. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he outscored Tyreek Hill or outscored Tyreek Hill and Kupp, or at least one of them. Wouldn't be shocked if Kupp and Tyreek Hill outscored him. I mean, I could say the same thing back. Thoughts on Kenneth Walker without Charbonnet? I think you lose sleep at night, and that's why I forced it. That's why you got to force it when hit. And the problem is when someone says, "Oh, Smitty, you really reached there." Blah, blah, blah. If the ADP does not match my next pick, if I'm behind 4 or like I was, I think he was 3 or 4 picks already to be gone. You've got to shoot your shot early. That's it. And that's really the only player. Him and like, if you get Pacheco, you got to do McKinnon the same. But that's really the one player that like you have to make sure you get. There's just no excuse for it. Like even in that case right there, I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it. I had to do it. If I didn't do it, I would have been, pissed off. I had to do it. If his ADP was matching up perfectly or it gave me some leeway, then doing it early would have been stupid. But the fact that, you look at the ADP rank, you look at your next pick, you're like, okay, it's not going to make it. He's 4 or 5 picks going to fall short. You got to take him. Komet Kincaid Okonkwo is a waste of roster in all 3. I don't know if it is, Gabriel, it matters at what kind of like depth you have or how big your rosters are. Because I do own all 3. There are 3 of my 4 breakouts. And so I do own all 3 in several best ball drafts because we got deep benches, and I love consuming 3 tight ends or at least 3 quarterbacks, and I like doing the 3 tight end rotation as well because in optimal scoring, that's going to be very advantageous for you to have 3 options to cycle through where you don't have to make a decision. The highest scoring player gets inserted for you. Do you have handcuffs? Samaji P-Run for Javonte as a must? No, I don't. I think it's nice, but I don't force it. I don't force it at all. The only thing I will force, literally, if I have to go like 15, 14 picks early on Charbonnet, I will, just to ensure I get him. And I don't think anybody should do that standalone. But that's why it's really, in my mind, pretty easy to draft him. You can sit back and make an excuse later. I mean, look at it in the Moonman draft. The guy that drafted Walker didn't get Charbonnet. He didn't lost sleep over it. And he went and made a crazy deal to get it done. He just couldn't sleep at night. He was absolutely in distraught.
Got nightmares.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kadarius Toney here. I think that's a pretty good move. 608 caller, who's this? Where are you calling from?
Smitty, it's Joel.
Joel.
I'm calling from Texas, man.
Joel, you're the one with the super chat, right? Or no, you're the one
Yes,
with the
sir.
question.
No, I wasn't on the super chat. You told me to call in.
Oh yeah, Joel from
My
Texas.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joel from Texas. Okay, got you, Joel. Appreciate you calling in. You got your draft coming. You were saying Garrett Wilson earlier. That's right. It was just fine. Like I don't want you to take offense to that. I laugh because first of all, I'm glad you found us. I don't know if are you a longtime listener or is this did you or a viewer or did you just find the show?
No, I'm a long-time listener, man.
Okay, so when I joke around, I'm just joking around with you, but like when you say Garrett Wilson in the first, like it makes me feel like you just got here though, because you've seen me do it for like 7 straight months. That's all I'm saying. That's why I joke. Hold on, Joel. Let me make this pick real quick.
What'd you say?
Let me just make this pick real quick. I went McKinnon.
Okay.
So my team so far, pretty solid. I'm pretty good at running back now. Justin Fields, Kenneth Walker, Javonte Williams, Alvin Kamara, Zach Charbonnet, Jerick McKinnon, Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Kadarius Toney. I'm riding a little bit of the risk train with my wide receivers because two of them may not even, like, who the hell knows what their injury status is, but having both of them to fill the wide receiver 3 role in a Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb led wide receiver room makes me feel pretty comfy at night myself. What can I do for you, Joel?
So I got second round pick on Sunday, and I'm thinking going 3 wide receiver first. What do you think about that?
You got the second pick?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all.
I'm thinking Chase. I'm hoping I get Garrett Wilson on the second round. Or I'm a rock. And third round, now I'm thinking Relly. Get Relly on third. Fourth, I'm aiming Brees. If I can get him, Brees or Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I love that. You might even get.
You might get
Brees
I want
in round
Joe
5.
Burrow 5th round.
You might get Brees in round 5 too. Joe Burrow.
That's a stretch because people like Brees in my
Okay.
squad, and in my league, people like Brees. So
Yeah, that'd be a
be
fire
hard.
start, bro. I like what you're mapping out there. Definitely leave room to maneuver though. You know, don't set in on anything. But yeah, Gibbs in the 3rd round's fire. Gibbs in the 4th round's even more fire. Grandmas let you draft him in 4. Good drafters will not let Gibbs fall to 4. Fields will go in round 4 minimum in a good draft, but you know, some people just punt quarterback, and you got to know your league. You got to know your league mates. If your league mates continue to punt quarterback, then you know you're going to clean up with Burrow or Fields later. And those are the drafts where, if you follow the process, man, you're going to just absolutely annihilate everybody. If you get Fields in round 5 or Joe Burrow in round 5, that is like insane, bro. That's like walking to the bank material. Just walk straight to the bank, ask for the advance.
yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, I've been watching you a lot, and I appreciate all your information, man.
Hey, appreciate you.
Really.
Yeah. Thank you, pal.
You know,
Appreciate you.
I think you the GOAT of fantasy football, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're gonna do well. I can tell. You're following the process, bro.
Sure.
All right, hang tight real quick. You can hang on, and if you got another question, just chime in a second. Christian says, all I can say is Smitty helped me for 2 seasons. Go to the championship. Just follow the advice, and we're all gonna make it. Thank you, Christian. Appreciate you, bro. Gary, you're live.
Hello.
Oh, you weren't ready, huh?
Yeah, I just have a quick question.
Okay,
Whenever
go
you're
ahead.
ready.
Yeah.
I have my Dynasty Startup League on Sunday draft, and I have the 4 spot.
Exciting, bro.
Obviously, if Chase, Jefferson, or Bijan follow me, I'm going to take them. But if all 3 of them are taken, who do you recommend taking?
If Chase, Bijan, and Jefferson are gone, who do I take?
Yeah, at the 4 spot for a Dynasty Startup.
Dynasty Startup. That's so tough, bro. Boy. If it was redraft, I'd say Kelsey in a heartbeat. But that's a whole different ballgame when you're talking Dynasty. Hold on one second. Let me just make this pick. God, I hate doing this. But I'll go Jameson here. I got 3 questionable. I got 3 questionable wide receiver 3s, all trying to compete for the wide receiver 3 job. JSN, Kadarius, Toney, Jameson, Williams. But that's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun trio, because Toney could do it from week 1, and Jameson could pick up when Toney gets injured in week 6. Okay, as for your team, bro, like, we're going to look at this board here, and of course this is redraft, but just going to look at some names and just kick some things around. So JJ, Chase, Bijan, and who'd you say? You said JJ, Chase, Bijan.
That's it. I have the 4th pick.
Okay.
So I'm thinking those 3 are going to go top 3 unless someone makes a mistake. But I'm thinking Lamb, St. Brown, or Garrett Wilson. Those are my top 3 for the 4 picks.
Yeah, I'd probably lean Garrett Wilson. I like St. Brown
Okay.
a lot, though. I don't mind that, but I think Garrett Wilson, I probably lean. I also it wouldn't be crazy to go Gibbs, bro. You know, I mean,
See, I think I can get Gibbs. I think I can
You
get
think?
Gibbs in the second round.
really in a dynasty
Yeah.
startup.
The-
I don't know.
I've never played with them before, but
Yeah,
I
it's tough to
don't
know.
think I don't know.
It's tough to know. I think he's good enough to be taken.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know if he'll last or not. It's tough to say.
Yeah, it's also a 12 team, so there's definitely going to be a lot more picks. So, I don't know. I got a lot to think about. I'm just hoping that someone makes a mistake to make my first pick easy, but
Yeah.
I don't know if someone will.
Bro, that's a tough one. Let's ask her on the phone line. Let's say Kevin, you're live. That was Gary, right? Gary, who I just talked to.
Yeah, it's Jerry.
All right, hang tight, Gary. I'm sorry, Gary or Carrie?
Jerry with a
Jerry.
J. Jerry.
Pam or Pan? Pan? Step Brothers? No. Okay. You haven't seen that? You haven't seen that, Jerry? Step Brothers?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, you gotta watch Step Brothers, bro. They're doing an
Oh,
interview. They're doing an interview, and the lady goes, "My name is Pam," and they go, "Pan," and she's like, "Pam."
Well,
They're like,
Pam.
Pam. I got this one, Pam.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah, I
she's like
remember
Pam.
that. I had that part. Yeah, I got it now. I see.
Kevin. First of all, you're live.
what's up, Smitty?
First of all, you're live. Second of all, who you taking at number 4 overall in a dynasty startup if Jamar's gone, JJ's gone, and Bijan's gone?
That's a tough one. I've never done a dynasty. I would love to, but that's a tough
This
one.
is also my first one too, so that's why I'm.
Yeah.
So let
Is
me
it
let me
crazy
read
to
off
say
some
Nick Chubb?
consensus data here. Let me help you out here. Consensus data is suggesting that it goes Lamb, McCaffrey, Hall, Taylor, AJ Brown, Barkley, Garrett Wilson, Gibbs. So Gibbs is 11. Gibbs at 4 is not a stretch if he's going around 1. Just so everybody can calm down that's thinking that's horribly crazy bad early. It's not. And let's see how that feels after week 1 and week 2, because he might arguably be in every single person's top 5 overall in Dynasty, and then we'll see what everybody's thinking then, because Gibbs is an absolute weapon. So would I trade down if I could? Absolutely, to try and get him at 6 or 7. I wouldn't even push it at his ADP like 8 or 9, 10. His Dynasty ADP is inside the top 11. So Gibbs is a first rounder, 1,000%. And if you don't think that's the case, then you're playing in a weird dynasty league that we know nothing about. But is it too early at 4? I mean, fair market value wise, yeah, like I'd trade down. But am I gonna pick the wrong player because of fair market value in a league where I can't trade down? Like if this was a dynasty startup best ball draft, which is not, it's not. I wish they had dynasty somehow. But if it was. So Garrett, you must not play in a lot of dynasty then, Garrett, because he has got 11 consensus dynasty ADP. Garrett, 11. He's in the first round. So welcome to dynasty, Garrett. I do appreciate you. You know I appreciate you, but come on, bro. Anyway, you know, sometimes people don't like bold, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Garrett Wilson's probably the safest. If I could trade down. I'm sorry, did you say you could trade down? I'm sure you can.
I mean, I could. I never thought about making that decision.
Go to like
just
7.
because
Go to like 7.
but if I trade the 4 spot, and because I don't know if you can trade like day up. Because if I trade the 4 spot and then one of those guys fall, I'm gonna feel like an idiot.
Well, I mean, you mean one of those guys you just named? Oh yeah, that would be.
Yeah,
that
like
would be
if
brutal.
Chase or Jefferson or Bijan fall
I hear ya.
the 4 spot, and I've traded to the 7, then I'm gonna feel like an idiot. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the 4 and then just go with my gut.
I hear you on that. That definitely is something that would, you know, potentially have me stutter step a little bit.
Yeah. Because if it goes horrible and I have I do horrible this year, and then next year I get the first round pick, then I'll just get Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because I'm used to redrafting, and then my keeper league, my 2 keepers are Jamar Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown, so it's GG's already.
Let me get. I'll get these two supers. Hang tight. Every caller, stay on hold real quick. Let me just make this draft selection. Quarterback. I guess I'll go Derek Carr here. So my team so far is Fields, Carr, Walker, Javonte, Kamara, Charbonnet, McKinnon, Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Kadarius Toney, Jameson Williams, Tank Dell, and Chigakonkwo.
Mine's kind of similar.
And Garrett says also that was me who traded with overcome Mike Thomas. Wait, what was the trade, Garrett? Because the Garrett I'm talking about was the worst trade. No offense to whoever it was, if that was you, Garrett. The worst trade I've ever seen. It was bad. It wasn't the worst trade. It's one of the worst trades I've ever seen.
What was the trade?
I'm blanking on it. That's why I hesitated to say the worst. It was JT. It wasn't the worst trade I've ever seen. The worst trade I've seen in the league so far. Because I'm thinking of the trade offer. I'm sorry, Garrett. If this was you, it's still a bad trade. But the worst trade I've seen, the worst trade offer was, I believe, Ramondre Stevenson, and the offer was, and I'm not going to say who it was because I love the guy who made the offer, and I don't want him to get mad at me. What is Cortland Sutton, Judy, and Antonio Gibson for Ramondre?
What the heck?
All right.
And I mean, look, Judy was going in the 4th round. I know I told everyone not to, but now he's not because he's injured. So. But that was the one offer. The other offer, God, it's Jack of all trades here. I know he's gonna get so mad at me. Call in, Jack. I want to apologize for ripping the trade so badly, but I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. But in the other league, in the Marsman League, Jack of all trades traded Ramondre Stevenson, another Ramondre trade. This is a different league though, the Marsman versus the Moonman. The Marsman League, he actually traded Ramondre Stevenson away for Anthony Richardson, and it's a 1 QB, and he had Josh Allen
And Watson.
and it's a redraft. So I was just like, I just don't understand that trade at all. But anyway, Jack, you know you're my boy. Feel bad for him. I blasted the trade really bad, and I haven't seen him since. So anyway, yeah. So back on point here about Dynasty, and I think that, you know, people are going to say that it's a lot to give up. It's a lot to give up, or a lot to trade to select Garrett Wilson at 4 or 5. Some people are going to say that Gibbs is too high at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. But that, so be it. I want my guys. I want Garrett Wilson almost more than anybody in Dynasty, so that's why I put him 4 or 5 for you. I want Gibbs probably right after that, so 5, 6, 7. And I would trade down if I were you. And in the worst case scenario, bro, let's say you trade down and one of those guys does fall and you feel like an idiot, which I could understand why you would, and I'd feel pretty bad too. But I think that if you get a proper, like, compensation somewhere, not something stupid and small, like an equal even Steven move up in the 2nd round, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you move my 4th rounder into the top of 3. Like, you do something like that, then maybe it's worth it no matter who falls, because then you're going to have something that you normally wouldn't have, and you're going to be set.
Yeah, that's true. Alrighty, well, I appreciate all your advice. I'll think about it.
All right. All right, let me go over to Joel.
All right.
Joel, what else you got?
Yeah, Smitty, what you think about DeAndre Hopkins?
I don't know. I feel like he's probably going to be a pretty damn good wide receiver no matter what happens, and at the end of the day, we could all be looking at this and saying, why didn't we see low-end wide receiver 1 production? I really think he's that good of a receiver. He's getting older. I don't like Tannehill. Tannehill did feed A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown balled out, but A.J. Brown also didn't get overfed. It's not like he got overwatered. So we don't really know what the volume's necessarily going to look like. I think Hopkins can be as efficient as A.J. Brown was, so that's good. But is Tannehill the same quarterback he was when A.J. Brown and him were connecting? I don't know that can be answered with a big loud sound of confidence, but I don't know. I think he's definitely a very good wide receiver too.
So what you think about if you had to pick like 6th round and you looking for like that 3rd wide receiver, out of Drake London, DeAndre Hopkins, and Terry McLaurin, which one would you select?
Drake London.
I mean, for Drake London, like I said, with Atlanta, they don't throw the ball that much.
Yeah, but is that fair and accurate? I don't think so. I'm going to time out here, so I'm just going to take somebody I don't really like Slayton all that much, but I feel like he'll get some work in the early weeks, and with my wide receiver room, it's not the most horrible idea to just grab safe guy. I don't know that you can exactly say that, bro, because number one, when Ritter and London were in the lineup together the final 5 weeks, and even if you include I think the week before that, so London wasn't in there. I'm sorry, Ritter wasn't in the lineup, but London still from the last 6 weeks down to the last game. I think he was on pace for about 1,300 total or 1,300 receiving yards. That was what he was pacing at. So Atlanta was throwing to him, and he is the main option. And if anybody's getting screwed, it's going to be Kyle Pitts. You know, I don't think it's going to be London. London is a baller. I like him a lot. Hopkins is probably safer. I would agree with that. And if you want safety, go Hopkins. I can understand that. Yeah. But London to me has more upside. He's got a little bit more risk, but more upside. And I don't agree that they won't throw enough. I think they will throw plenty. And the fact that Bijan's there and this offense is going to average over 5 yards per carry rushing the football instead of what was still a very impressive, I think, 4th overall in the NFL. Let me put that stat up on the screen right here. Bijan. Falcons were number 4 in the NFL with 4.9 yards per carry with Algier there, not Bijan. Bijan's going to average 5.4 yards per carry. They're going to be number 1 in the National Football League in rushing yards, probably. They're going to be number 1 again in attempts. This team runs the ball like crazy, and that might say to you, well, that's what I'm scared of, right? Well, the run's going to open up the pass, and when you've got a guy like London, and if Ritter throws for even a moderate amount of yards, London's going to eat plenty. There's not a bunch of mouths to feed, man. And Kyle Pitts has already been proven to be the odd man out, where if they're going to screw somebody, especially this whole line that everybody regurgitates that Arthur Smith doesn't care about fantasy. It's like he doesn't. Didn't I just show you a screen where fantasy's well taken care of? It's just Kyle Pitts is not. And the last 6 games, London was on pace for what would have extrapolated out to about 1,300 yards. So he takes care of everybody but Kyle Pitts. His answer was more about Kyle Pitts. Why aren't you feeding Kyle Pitts? I don't care about fantasy. Everybody then says he doesn't care about fantasy at all. His response was, stop telling me to throw to Kyle Pitts. You know, he got tired of hearing that. That's why he said that comment. So Kyle Pitts has been proven to be ignored. That's why Kyle Pitts isn't on a Moonman list anymore, or even the midseason monsters. I just worry enough about that. I don't think London's getting screwed. I think London's going to ball out. And hang tight real quickly. I got to make this pick. Then I got a couple super chats. Then I'm going to come back around the phone line. So just hang tight right there and think of your question. Carr. God, I hate this pick. Oh, no, I'll do this. Darnell Washington could be good for like 5-6 touchdowns this year. So that might help me out in the tight end room. I also may go quarterback here. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll take Trey Lance. Just kidding. I like how Tom Brady's climbing up the ADP board. Does anybody notice that? He's right there.
No.
He's right there. You don't even have to scroll. He's right there now. When you get near the end of the draft, he's on the list of the top 13 available quarterbacks. And I don't think he was before. Do I take a QB here? Or do I go with the wide receiver? I'll go Richie James. He could get some work. That's not a bad move. So the team ended up being Fields, Carr. I usually like 3 quarterbacks, but I just went with 2 here. Fields, Carr, Walker, Javonte, Alvin Kamara, Zach Charbonnet, Jerick McKinnon, Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, JSN, Kadarius Toney, Jamison Williams, Tank Dell, Darius Slayton, Richie James, a couple safe guys in there. Chiga Conquo, Taysom Hill, Darnell Washington. Not bad. Not my best team, but I don't hate it at all. I mean, whenever you've got a hardcore, solid 4 of Fields, Walker, Garrett Wilson, Lamb, I'm feeling good about the team in general. But, it wasn't my very, very best draft I've ever had or anything, but I did like it. Had a good feel to it. Let me get these super chats out of the way. With the McLaurin Turf Toe, how high would you reach for Dotson? I mean, top of 6. I don't know that we're taking him in the 5th round yet. You know what I mean? Let's pump the brakes and not force an early entry into round 5. But 6.1 on, I'm fine with it. First time playing Dynasty Draft Sunday startup. Bella, check yourself. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much for dropping that. And my advice, bro, don't get too hung up on the younger player, thing, because what if the league crumbles? You don't even know. You might think you know, but this league might not be around after 3 or 4 years. So if you plan too far in advance, you will potentially play for second place, and then the league closes before you even have a shot. Also, it was me who traded. I don't know what the trade was. Let me see if Garrett confirmed what the trade was real quick. Because he said Garrett Wilson going for 6 to 8 TDs in the red zone. Going to get 6 to 8 TDs. He's going to have at least 12 to 15. Garrett Wilson props, wide receiver 5'7". Okay. Where was what was the trade, Garrett? Tell me what the trade was, bro. And then G Money dropping a $20 hauler on screen. Thank you, Garrett, again. This one's from Bailey and G Money dropping 20 watt on screen. He says, in the 4th and 5th round, if given the choice between both, would you take Kamara or Brees? I take Brees because Kamara should be there in the 5-6. So Brees Hall 4-5, Kamara 5-6. You have the best chance of drafting both of them if you take that route versus Kamara's too early there. Kamara shouldn't be in the 4 round range. He could be, but he's missing 3 games. I would definitely put him in 5-6 more than 4-5. But Brees for sure 4-5. I love Brees. I need to draft more Brees Hall, to be honest, because I can't stand the way people are discrediting this guy right now. And for your $20 hauler, G Money.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com.
Mashed potatoes!
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
I'm hitting all kinds of wrong buttons. Appreciate you, G Money, and Brees Hall to the moon. Who would you take at the 1.1 PPR draft? Would you take JJ or CMC? I always love this question because I love when someone assumes that Chase isn't in this conversation. It's like, how disrespectful. Not to mention, Bijan's my number 1 over CMC. So Bailey, let me rephrase this. But I always love that Chase is already out of the equation. Chase is my 1.1 and 3 wide receiver PPR. Bijan's my number 1 overall, or at least my running back 1, you could say. But my number one overall in 2 wide receiver formats, even if it's PPR. That's just how I'm going to draft. And, some people can't handle it. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Did it give me the highest score? I've never gotten the highest score ever in a mania, best ball mania. So it looks like 2952, 2921, 2976, 2996. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong number. It gave me 2738. My bad. I thought I had the 2996 number. I don't want the highest score though, to be honest, because they never give my guys respect. Like Kamara, they're giving them no respect. Walker, no respect. Fields, no respect. Garrett Wilson, moderate respect. JSN, they probably have such little amount of points projected for him. They never give my boys respect, which is why I never in Best Ball Mania have been ranked number 1 out of the drafts that I've done. I've been 2 and 3 a lot, but I've not been number 1. Usually I'm middle of the pack or a little lower, and I wear it like a badge of honor because I don't think this is predicting what these guys are going to do. I think that the projections here don't necessarily match up with what necessarily won last year. I think there are some algorithm type things in here where, like, if you see somebody draft 3 quarterbacks versus 2, that team might have an advantage based on the projected rotation of points. So it kind of tells you something. It's like a line in to into the mind of underdog and what they know is probably more advantageous, right? If you draft 3 quarterbacks, you're likely to score more at your single quarterback position with that 3 options each week to carry you. That's why I usually do draft 3. If I drafted 3 quarterbacks, I bet you I would have been projected in the 2800 range. But, okay, I'm sorry. The super chat here from Bailey. Bailey, again, Chase number 1, Bijan number 1. JJ I love. I just think Chase is going to score 15-plus touchdowns this year. Okay, Harvest from Oklahoma, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up, bro?
Oh, man, you said to call during the show, so I'm calling. I have a quick question, though. I'm thinking about trading Drake London and Demo for Calvin Ridley.
Drake London and Debo?
Demo, David Montgomery.
Oh, Demo. We don't. I've never heard that nickname for him. Demo.
Demo. That's what I call him anyway.
I've never heard that. So I thought you were saying Debo. I was like, so London and Demont. That's what I do. That's how I do it. That's how I do it. Demont or Monty. London and Ridley. At the end of the day, Ridley and London could be close, but Ridley's in my top 25 overall right now. So if you've got the running back depth to weather that, I could get behind the Ridley side. But it is giving up quite a bit because Monty could have 1,100 yards and 6-7 touchdowns. But if you don't necessarily need that, I'm not against it. But London could ball out and be just as good. It's certainly possible. You got to prepare for that at least. London's that good. It's just a matter of will he get the volume, which is the question of the night. I think he will. Will he get enough volume to be a top 5 wide receiver? No. But could he eventually? Yeah. But will he get it this year? No. But could he still be top 12 wide receiver this year? I think so. I think it's possible for sure.
Right.
But really, to me, you're going to look, if you're okay with rolling the dice, if you're a dice roller, if you're not going to lose sleep over this, if you miss and Ridley gets hurt or whatever, doesn't work out, and you're not going to sit there and go, man, I knew it, and you just stew over it. If you're okay dice rolling and saying it was a good shot, it was a shot I believed in, it didn't work out, but, I didn't do anything wrong. I'd do it again, not knowing the outcome. It was the right move to make. If you're okay with that kind of thinking, then I'd go Ridley. But if you're a worried William and you go to bed at night and you're like, I shouldn't have did it. Why'd I do it? Then I don't know, bro. You maybe stay the safe route or go for a slightly higher wide receiver like Garrett Wilson or something, which I doubt you get. But.
Well, I'm trying to consolidate. Yeah, I already got Garrett. So, I'm just trying to consolidate. I had some good ideas from the chat a couple days ago. Just as far as hey, package these 2, try to get someone. And I just don't know who to consolidate to get. So,
what about What about Gibbs?
I got Gibbs.
What about Monty and somebody else for Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall?
See, yeah, that's kind of what I want to go for. Like, what do you think about like Pickens and Devont for them, or?
I mean, I love Pickens, so I'd rather not. But like, would I do that at the end of the day? Probably. I love Pickens, but I want Walker more. I want Walker and Charbonnet if you can get that done. Maybe you already have Charbonnet.
No, I don't have Charbonnet though. But he would be easy to get.
Okay.
Like you said, I'm playing with a whole bunch of grandmas. I think everyone brags like they know what they're doing,
Yeah.
but I think I'm playing with grandmas.
Just bring them a plate of cookies, bro. They'll give you whatever you want.
Right.
All right.
But,
Anything else,
I
bro?
appreciate you. No, that's it. I appreciate you.
Okay. Thanks for calling in, Harvest. Appreciate you.
Yeah, always.
Let me get the super chat here. Last action hero, my guy. Home League redraft Sunday, 14-team PPR. 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Okay, so no mandatory wide receiver 3 here. I have the 7 pick. I want to go Bijan. If he's taken, who should I pick? Wilson or Amon-Ra? I mean, this is a pick your poison. We love both these guys from the bottom of our hearts, man. You know, I'd say at the end of the day, bro, as much as we need to get an Amon-Ra video, by the way, but we have 2 Garrett Wilson videos. We got to back our boy. I'm going to go ahead and push the button.
Come on, man. Pick up.
Please leave your message after the tone.
Hey, man, it's Devontae Adams again. Call me back, bro. I would draft the man we've been talking up as a top 3 to 5 wide receiver all off season, but I love St. Brown. I love him. And I want both of them, and that's the double decker that we always talk about here. So it's not like I'm not saying they're not nearly back to back. Here's the double decker.
The double-decker, pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting both Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2, the double-decker.
So, but I go Garrett Wilson. But it's a good question, and a lot of people share that concern. Like, do I go Pollard? I think that's the one I get the most. Pollard, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra. Which 2 do I take? And there's no answer to that one either. Am I a Falcons fan? I'm a fantasy football connoisseur, bro. So if you're trying to, I don't know if this is a little poke at my Falcons hat, which I'll gladly put on if it pisses off anybody, and I'll wear it the remainder of the show. There's so many people, and maybe you aren't, Hook, but there's so many people that are such like creative Caleb's in the comments going, "Are you a Falcons fan now? Are you a like what indication do you get from me? What do I look like? What kind of person do I look like? The kind of person that touts my players, wears jerseys of my players, promotes the players on the show. I care about fantasy over anything. And you're damn straight I'll wear a Bijan geared hat every day to work if I want to. I got a Bijan running back 1 shirt that I made. I've got a Bijan hat right here. You may call it a Falcon hat. I call it a Bijan hat. We got Bijan cards that we revoke constantly.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
So I'm not sure if that might have just been an innocent question by Hook. maybe he's a Falcons fan and he's like, "Are you a Falcons fan like me?" I'm not a Falcons fan. No, I am an absolute fantasy football connoisseur. If I had to, I mean, I'm in Arizona, so I'm by nature a Cardinals fan. And I'm hoping we get Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr. so that there's some absolute, glory that comes to Arizona again since Kurt Warner, which was an amazing time for Arizona fans, by the way. Thank you, Hook. Appreciate you. All right, let me get around the phone line here, and then I'm going to probably jump out of here. Joel, final thoughts.
Yeah, Smitty. I have two questions. Are we still drafting Swift? What you think about Swift? And the second question is, damn, I forgot. I'll come back to you.
All right, Swift. Am I drafting Swift? I absolutely am drafting Swift.
Your tight end, the tight end that you draft. Are you confident with that? The Tennessee Titan.
The Okonkwo, Chig Okonkwo. Yeah, I mean he's got some risk to it, bro. But I mean, you're getting him in double-digit rounds. You're getting him. I mean, his ADP is so late. It's so late that you're taking on obviously some risk. But if you take like Kincaid and Okonkwo, I like having the duo. I think it's really good. So,
what about Clement?
I like Clement a lot. He got hurt. We got to monitor that. He did get hurt the other day, so we're still kind of waiting on some definitive news on that. I mean, seems like he's not out long term, but he definitely was banged up. So we're just kind of waiting for some clarity there. But Clement's definitely in that wheelhouse of breakout outside the top 10. Could be a top 6 to 7 tight end. I mean, Clement could easily be a top 6 tight end in fantasy football. I mean, Fields is going to the moon. Why can't he? Why can't he at least come along for the ride on the outside of the shuttle at least? You know?
That's what I said.
Yeah, but Swift.
Clement is
Swift. Swift is a guy that in round 6, why not? Not in every league. Risky guys aren't guys you put all your eggs in one basket for. JT at 3.1 right now, I would certainly take him as my third drafted player in one league out of 7 or 8. I'm not taking him. I am not taking him in handfuls of leagues as even my third drafted player because there's a lot of moving parts and red flags. He's injured potentially still. All these things that are unknowns, I'm not going near him. But at third round value in one league, I'll do it. Swift in 1 or 2 or 3 leagues out of 10 or 11, 12 leagues, let's say. Or if he's in the 7th round, I'll take him in like 50% of my leagues. Because at that territory, I'm willing to take a big swing there. The risk gets lower every round he goes. But like at 6.1, I'm probably drafting Pacheco in the 6th or 7th round. Depends on what the ADP looks like. Let me go to the board real quick and just show you. So Swift went at number. Where did Swift go? Swift went. Where did he go? He went at 6.
I'm thinking Swift around 7, 8.
He went at the tail end of 6. Okay, so Breece Hall went at the beginning of 5, which was a steal, absolute steal. But if you look at the players that went right above Swift, Javonte. I'm taking Javonte over Swift a lot of the time.
For sure.
But sometimes I might take Swift. But again, 1 out of every 7, 8 times or whatever. I said the DW coming in here. Who just dropped 20? James Young gifted 20 exclusive memberships. Look at this guy. James Young.
Where's your mashed potatoes?
Yeah, buddy.
James, I appreciate you, James. But, let me show the board here. I thought I had the screen up the whole time. Here I'm showing you guys a draft board so you can see it. So here's the draft board. So Swift is right. Let me get a little indicator on the screen here. Swift is right here. Swift is right here at 71. So Breece Hall, obviously I'd take over him, but he's not going that late. Then I guess I would say when we get over to the Alvin Kamara at 63, I'd take Kamara over Swift a couple times, but I'd take Swift over Kamara a couple times. That's kind of why you won't see me drafting him so much, is there's a lot of guys that I feel like I got to rotate between. But I'm not taking Antonio Gibson over him, Penny over him, Jamal Williams over him, Samaje Perine, A.J. Dillon. Tank Bigsby's interesting, but I'm not taking him over him. Khalil Herbert, he's going later than that, so I'm not taking him over him. 8th round, or I took Charbonnet early too, so you're not taking him. Pacheco's going in the 7th or 8th round, But I'll be honest, man. I would rather have Pacheco than Swift in some cases. Kamara. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just rotating this out, bro. That's all. That's the reason why. If those guys weren't there, maybe I would take a gamble on Swift more, but there's no need to when you can mix it up. There's a lot of guys I like there. A lot of guys.
No disrespect, Smitty. I was one of them guys that I was not a Pacheco believer.
That's okay. We're not going to like everything
No
together,
disrespect.
bro. No, we're not going to like everything together, bro. But I will say maybe give him another look-see. Look at that film, bro. This guy's an animal. He had a broken hand and a torn labrum, messed up shoulder. You didn't know because he went out there and played with it. He's an animal, and he's going to go out there and get 10+ touchdowns probably this year. And if you don't believe that will happen, then invest in McKinnon, because between the two of them, that should happen, and McKinnon should be the guy. So McKinnon's a very, very good pick this year. He gets hurt a lot, so he's someone you can't really count on, but he goes very late, so there's no risk at all. McKinnon's the kind of guy that even with the injury risk, you can get in every single league because he's going so deep, it doesn't matter. I think I got McKinnon in this draft, right? And he went, I took him a little early, too. A little early. McKinnon went at in the 10th round at pick 111. So there's no risk there at all, bro. None. Just keep an eye on it.
So what I was trying to do, like, okay, there's three wide receiver, right? 2 running back, and I was aiming like Brees Hall and Jay Will, Javonte Williams, and then just get like Cook and P. Ryan, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then get Swift, get Kamara if I can, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think about Rachaad White? Why is he not in the moon list?
Well, I mean, maybe you missed today's show where, we talked about it, or was it yesterday? Was it today or yesterday? I forget. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Let me see. Let me find it. Hold on. I'll pull the news up. But yeah, I mean, he's splitting first team reps now. I don't like Rachaad White at all right now. Sean Tucker, here's this piece of news right here. Sean Tucker, undrafted rookie Sean Tucker, has been splitting first team practice reps with Rachaad White, and he's been turning heads. He looked really good in the preseason, and there's a lot of concern that the football is not going to go near the red zone on a lot of occasions, bro. So I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm very, very, very off the Rachaad White train when he's going as high as sometimes he falls, sometimes he doesn't. So where is he going? That's the question I have. If he's going around 6, where he sometimes goes, give me Swift over him. Give me Kamara over him. Give me Javonte over him. But if he goes like here, he went round 7, but there are a lot of people inside our community here that are hearing me talk, down on him a little bit. And so he falls a little bit more in some of our drafts. Round 7, it's not awful, but it's not great. There's still a lot of players I like better.
Somebody got to mute the mic.
Yeah, I don't know. That's Spiffy. Spiffy, you got something going on with your phone, bro. What is that? You calling from a fax machine?
I'm muted. I was muted.
I'm going to hang up on you, see if it goes away, and then call back.
All right.
Yeah, that was him. Super chat.
And how about Richardson?
All right, last question. I gotta run.
I
gotta run. So last question, Richardson.
Okay,
I mean,
take care, man. Thank you for everything. Man.
Hey, Joel. He didn't look great tonight. Last night. Sorry, my days are running together. He didn't look great last night, but he did run well. I mean, he looks like he could get like 60, 70 yards a game, right? So that part's good. I mean, but he's got no support, man. If they trade away JT, who's he got? Nobody. Pittman's not going to sustain as anything close to a wide receiver 1, in my opinion. And I just don't think that offense is going to be consistent. But that said, where are you getting him? If you're getting him as your second quarterback in a 1 QB and you take a gamble on A-Rod or somebody a little higher, then I like that, I guess. As a super flex second quarterback, he runs the ball a lot, so I don't hate it, but I just don't. I think people are expecting this like 6 to 7 to 8 quarterback season, and I don't see how he's bumping off the big dogs, bro. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see it at all.
Appreciate all your information, man.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
You answered all my questions.
Yeah, thanks for
I think
calling
that
in.
should be good.
Thanks, Joel. Appreciate you. And
Definitely,
trust your gut.
thank you.
Trust your gut. I could be wrong about 40% of this. It happens all the time. You know what I mean? Like, no one can be right about all this stuff. All right. Trust your gut, bro. Later.
All right, man. Thank you.
Spiffy, your phone's a little better, but I am jumping. I am leaving, so you got to make it snappy, Spiffy. Make it spiffy.
Same here.
Oh,
No worries.
I won't keep you.
Glad to be back, by the way.
Okay. You what?
Yeah. I had a question, man. I have my draft on Sunday, and this time we're not doing randomized order. We're doing a tourney for the draft. So I just want to get your opinion on what position on the draft do you think would be best? It's a 12-team league, so just want to get your thoughts to see what spot do you think would you pull for?
Hey, Spiffy, I'm so sorry that I don't remember everything because you got to understand how many people I talk to every day. So please, but
Yeah.
you are the one that drafted the double tight ends that we were trying all year to get rid of, right?
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to. You're not going to do that again, are you?
No,
Thank God.
I wouldn't be able to. Pitts had a horrible season last year.
No,
so.
but like you're not going to like draft Andrews.
I know what you
then
mean.
All of a
Yeah,
sudden
yeah,
be like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
get
no,
Hawkinson and Andrews together. You can't do it, Spiffy.
I'm gonna get 2 kickers.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
can't do it. Don't ever do that again. You stressed me out that season because I was feeling it for you, bro. We couldn't figure it out all year. No one would take one of them. Okay, so glad you're not on that track.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, G Money, for your super chat. By the way, G Money, you're the man. Appreciate you. Thank you, James Young, for the 20 gifted memberships. Spiffy, the number 1 overall pick is always going to be kind of the most important one, just because you're guaranteed to have such a good, either the number 1 pick and you have such a good 3rd round pick. The part that would have me say, hey, maybe I want to go down a couple spots is that I love Jahmyr Gibbs. He's probably my favorite pick in all fantasy football inside that 3rd round. I like Walker in round 5 about as much, though. And I feel like if you get that 1.3, 1.4, you're going to get Bijan. And if you don't get Bijan, you can take Kelsey. So 1.4 is perfect.
Yeah.
JJ, Chase, Bijan, Kelsey. And if you like McCaffrey, go McCaffrey. It's fine. But I like Bijan. That is 1.4 is probably the very, very best pick. And you're inching as close as you can to the middle of the draft so you don't have a big weight in between. You're kind of like in the middle of everything. There's a little bit of weight, you're on the back end there, but that's a good pick. It should get you Bijan, and it should get you Gibbs, and it might get you Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, and if not, it gets you Olave. So you traditionally can get Bijan, Olave, and Gibbs, but you can sometimes get Bijan, Garrett Wilson, and Gibbs. And then Fields or Burrow, and then Kenneth Walker, and then walk to the bank.
Yeah. By the way, because I know Bijan's value is pretty high amongst us, but what's his ADP going for, more or less? Because I feel like it's dropped within the last couple of weeks.
It has in some contexts, and in other formats it hasn't. It depends where you're looking. But right now he went number 7 in this draft. His ADP rank is, let me pull it up here. His ADP rank according to Underdog Fantasy, which is the only way I look at ADP data, to be honest with you, bro, because these are people paying. You could tell me, hey, Smitty, if you go to this platform, it's better ADP data, like if you go to like Sleeper, for example. But is it really better, or are all the mock drafts such garbage that it doesn't matter that it's like a more in line, type of draft setting? it's still bad data. There's people that are bailing in the middle of the 5th round, and then the computer takes over, and the computer just uses that bad data on top of bad data, and it's like this is a trash ADP. So for me, I'd rather go, even if it's best ball, a little different, have a more accurate overall feel. And Bijan's got number 7.7 overall ADP. So if you got pick 8, you're pushing your luck.
Yeah, I was expecting more in the, like I thought he was pushing like in the ADP at around 9.
It depends where you look. It depends where you look. Like if you're drafting on ESPN. Now, I will say if you're drafting on ESPN, looking at ESPN's ADP data is probably better than looking at underdogs. But it just kind of depends. You know, some people actually like set rankings and they're not necessarily looking at the ADP data. Some people sort differently, so it doesn't always guarantee you that someone's going to follow that list. But
No, I never look at the ADP for rankings. I just look at it to see if there's a player I really like.
Right.
If there's a shot that I can just wait.
Look, let me tell you this. ADP data is more important. The suggested rank is more important than even my rankings if I was to give you them. Because, I mean, you can listen to the content, absorb it, and then go to your draft without a single, ranking or anything and say, okay, I know what Smitty said about Garrett Wilson. I know what Smitty said. And you don't have to listen to me. I'm just giving you an example. I know Smitty loves Gibbs.
Right.
I agree with him here. I don't agree with him here, whatever. But when you're on the clock and you look at the pre-rank list and it shows you that Gibbs is going to fall to your next pick, then that's all you need to know. You don't need to know where I rank him. You need to know what you can get away with. That's the key to smashing your draft. It has nothing to do with drafting off of someone's rankings. It has to do with manipulating what the masses are going to do. All right, Spiffy, I gotta run. Call him tomorrow, pal.
Appreciate it, man. Will do.
Later. All right, rock out. Got to go. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I have a potential trade I'm working on.
Coming, Smokey. Hold on.
Would you trade Howell and Bigsby for Cousins? Not really thrilled about giving up Bigsby. I want him to gain more value.
As a backup quarterback? No.
I'd trade him to get up as a backup in my starters, Aaron Rodgers.
I'd rather have Bigsby.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yep. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right, call him tomorrow. Appreciate you, rock out. Later. Okay, Smokey the Cat. Appreciate your super chats here. I got Jack, his super chat, Gabriel. Let's hit these out of the park here. Smokey says, QB, 2 wide receivers. Is this the same super chat? Let's see here. Thank you, Smokey. All right, Harry, let me answer this real quick. Hey, Harry from Mexico, appreciate you, buddy. I can't talk long. I'm out the door, so make it snappy. Let's go.
What's up, Smitty?
Appreciate you.
I love your show. Harry calling from Mexico, from Tulum, Mexico again.
Attaboy.
Just saying real quick, your take on Komet. I like Dalton Kincaid or Luke Musgrave much better. I don't know. I don't have faith in him. He just,
well, I mean,
it just doesn't.
You know, I like Kincaid more than Komet. I mean, I talk up Kincaid more than anybody you've ever met in your life. So you're preaching to the choir here.
All right, so that's the only thing. I know you're about to go. That was the thing I was like kind of sticking with me. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I never said I liked him over Kincaid. I'm just saying I like Komet.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason, the way I don't know. Maybe I just understood it wrong.
Yeah, let me clear it up. Watch the screen real quick. Let me clear it up for you.
All right.
Yeah, we crown Kincaid over here. We call him King Cade. So he's going to the moon, pal. But I like Komet. Like I said, if there are 3 or 4 tight ends that could be surprise top 6 to 7 tight ends. Not all of them will be, but one of them will be. It comes from the bucket of Kincaid, Okonkwo, Kmet, Laporta. Musgrave's in there too. I like Musgrave, but he is a rookie. He'll be kind of up and down, but I think he could play like that at times. Laporta, the same thing. Definitely a nice group. They could potentially drop some serious numbers. So, yeah. Kincaid to the moon, bro.
All right, Smitty.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm glad you put bell bottoms on Kincaid, though.
Yeah.
That was a good touch.
All right, bro. Hey, appreciate you calling tomorrow.
You have a good night.
All right, later, man. Okay, Smokey, appreciate you. Smokey says QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex, 1 tight end, 12 PPR, 12th pick. Burrow, Bijan. You got Bijan at the 12, bro. I don't like Jacobs, though. I know you got a good deal, it looks like, but Burrow, Bijan, Gibbs, Jacob. Yeah, you got a good deal on Jacobs, though. Burrow, Bijan, Gibbs, Jacobs, P. Ryan, CD, DJ, London. I just wonder who you could have got on top of them. I'm not saying you didn't get a steal, but like, could you have gotten Walker? Could you have gotten Breece Hall? I know a lot of people think I'm crazy liking Breece Hall over Jacobs, but I do. I don't care I don't care how slow he comes along, and he's not even guaranteed to come along slow. Dalvin Cook's not even practicing. Like, who's been at practice? Breece Hall. Who's been out there running between the tackles full go? Breece Hall. You know? But Smokey, this team is fire, bro. I mean, you can make some trades, too, and it wouldn't be hard to trade Jacobs. But don't trade him if you love him. I just don't want anything to do with Jacobs this year. Close to 400 touches. It's not even there right now. His risk of injury goes to the roof. Not only because of the 400-plus touches, but because he's not there playing. And that holdout, mode that he's in puts you at a severe risk of injury. And he's going to face stacked boxes, and it's just no red zone ever. Just get rid of him. Trade him on the high. Go get Kenneth Walker. Maybe you could do it straight up. Go get it done. Do it live. Get Charbonnet if he's got it. This team is straight fire, though. You got so much potential to trade. Hollywood Brown and Jacobs for 1 running back. Your running back stable with your quarterback, with your wide receivers are just out of this world. I love it, bro. Love it. The team's fire. Nice job. Dobbs has some trade value, too. Jacobs and Dobbs, to get a deal done. Offer it straight up, and then if they don't want it, then throw in Dobbs, throw in Hollywood Brown to get any sort of running back trade. If you want to swap, like I'm suggesting, don't force it if you believe in Jacobs and he's your boy. Jack, appreciate your $5 hauler. Tanking and Dynasty Superflex. I have 8 first-rounders next 2 years. Hawkinson, Ritter, 25 first to get Young and Dulcich. No. I don't want Young and Dulcich that bad. I'd say no, bro. I like Bryce Young, but I don't know what he's going to be yet. I don't think any of us do, and I don't think it's worth it. Keep your first-rounder, bro. Keep on tanking on. Hope you're still here. Jack and Smokey the Cat, are you guys both still here? Appreciate you dropping those super chats. Gabriel, thank you. Last Action Hero, G-Money. Bailey, I'm going to get to Gabriel's last here. Garrett Morris, thank you. Belichick yourself. Hudak Gator. Warren, Young, Brooke, Clark. Overcome, double overcomes at the top of this. And then the final super chat here is this last one from Jack. Gabriel. Gabriel says, Can I bet a whiteboard? I think you mean get a whiteboard. Can I get a whiteboard? Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte, Garrett Wilson. Well, I don't need to whiteboard it because it's right here. So I'm just going to make it bigger. You know what I'm saying, bro? Can I get a whiteboard? Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte. You did a $10 hauler. You get a whiteboard, bro. And you get a moonshot.
To the moon.
Moonshot. You get a whiteboard. What am I talking about? I got to treat this man with the respect he deserves, dropping a $10 hauler on screen. Let's do it. Okay, so you have Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte. So Burrow, Gibbs, Javonte. People love seeing their team written on this board for some reason. Like, even if they put it on the screen, they just want to see it on the board. They want to see me write their team down. And just bask in the glory of seeing their team on this board. Garrett Wilson, St. Brown, Watson. Jeez. G. Willie, St. Brown, St. B, and Watson, Dotson. Watson, Dotson. Sounds like a law firm. Watson and Dotson and Associates. Watson and Dotson, Godwin. Watson, Dotson, and Godwin and Associates. Sky Moore, P. Ryan, Tank Dell, and Bigsby, Komet, Kincaid. So Kincaid. I mean, bro, what do you want to do? Brees owner wants Dotson and another guy. I would love to see you get Brees Hall on this team. Dotson and another guy. Could you get rid of Dotson and Godwin? And some people might say that's overpaying, but maybe you get something back. You're not even using Godwin. Could you get rid of Sky Moore? I mean, obviously, if you could get rid of Sky Moore and Dotson, that would be better. So I'd try that first. Sky Moore and Dotson. Do it live. And if not, I mean, bro, get Brees in here. Why not? Why not throw Brees into the mix? It's an overpay, but you just get something back. Get something relatively decent back. I don't mind that at all, broski. I think that would be pretty good. That's a good team, though. You don't necessarily need to do anything. I like it a lot, bro. The team's nasty. Okay. Appreciate you all. Yeah, and Jack says, I've been at Jets practice. You wouldn't even think Brees is injured. People are just... I'm going to probably do a Brees Hall video today, tomorrow. I don't know. Just trying to remind people that, go get him. Go do it live. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate you. Highest I would go is Javonte and Dotson, says Gabriel. Yeah, I don't even know if I want to do that. I like Javonte a lot. Javonte looks like he hasn't been injured as well. I don't think I'd do Javonte and Dotson. I think I would do Dotson and Godwin. All right, I'll see you all later. I'm live 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Live whenever news breaks. Punch the thumb up button. Subscribe if you're new. And go get Chris Olave and do it live.
A top 5 wide receiver hides among the people. His cost of entry is near illegal. Few see him coming. Many stay away. His name is Chris Olave.
And that's going to wrap up today's show. Whoa, it's me.
Hey, Smitty, it's me from the future. I'm calling you from 2024.
Whoa.
Hey,
I'm tripping out here.
Yeah, calm down. Hold on. I don't have much time. Listen to me. Okay, take the higher on Jahmyr Gibbs, 580 yards rushing. I'm telling you, Underdog is the best place to play fantasy football in 2024, let alone back in 2023. And I'm telling you, buddy, I'm telling you right now, Jahmyr Gibbs, 580 rushing yards over.
Us.
And whatever you do, pal, on the Patrick Mahomes.
Bro, Mahomes what, bro? Bro? Buddy? Smitty? Me? Hey, pal? What's going on here? Higher, lower on season rushing lines and passing yards and passing touchdowns. Go do the higher lows. They're phenomenal. And we draft Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday on Underdog. The link is in my bio on Instagram. The link is also in the description of almost every video. Underdog will match up to $100 dollar for dollar on your first deposit. So use the link. Get that $100 dollar for dollar bonus match, baby. Or use code Smitty. Draft with me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. Go prepare. Sign up now so you're not trying to do it last second. And go play a higher low. Jahmyr Gibbs, 580. I don't know how long that one's going to stay up there. Do I draft Mahomes or don't I?
A lion lives among us, posing as half man, half lawman. His golden mane is reportedly 6 feet long and is bathed in milk.
That's right.
His marvelous mane grows longer with each breath he takes. Legend has it that if you say T-Law in the dark in the bathroom 3 times, you lose your league instantly. Conspiracy fanatics have linked his triangle bone structure to the ancient pyramids and alien theory.
All right, see you all later. Appreciate you. Thanks for hitting that thumb up button on your way out the door. Subscribe if you're new. Drop a triangle red emoji or a Law Dog Milk emoji on your way out. See you all tomorrow. Deuces.